Picture this: you've hurt someone, maybe not on purpose, but enough to leave a mark. Most people would react with tears, anger, or a reluctant, frustrated forgiveness. But not the Sigma male. He doesn't respond the way you expect. Instead, he meets you with calm, piercing eyes, unreadable, detached. Then, without a single word, he walks away, leaving you wondering what just happened. This isn't the opening scene of a thriller. It's the reality of a Sigma male, a man whose view of forgiveness is as rare as his mindset. While others hand out second chances or explode in fury, Sigma males approach forgiveness from an entirely different angle. To them, it's not about the person who hurt them, it's about protecting their peace and guarding their boundaries. But this raises the question, are Sigma males heartless? Do they lack compassion? Psychology offers an answer. Research from the Journal of Social Psychology reveals that individuals with high self-reliance are less likely to forgive easily. Sigma males embody this truth. Their deep self-awareness makes them extremely selective about who earns a place back in their lives. They understand a powerful reality: not everyone deserves redemption. Some will only repeat the same mistakes if given another chance. So, their restraint isn't driven by bitterness, but by balance, a refusal to let chaos disturb their calm. Now, let's uncover 5 things Sigma males do instead of forgiving easily, and why their approach might make you rethink what true forgiveness really means. Reason number 1, they don't believe in second chances. For Sigma males, the concept of giving someone a second chance clashes directly with their internal code. They view it not as a sign of compassion, but as a dangerous gamble, one that risks their inner peace, emotional balance, and hard-earned sense of control. When someone betrays their trust, it's not just the action that cuts deep, it's the awareness that the person was capable of doing it in the first place. To the Sigma, that realization changes everything. Once the mask slips, there's no way to unsee what's been revealed. You see, Sigma males don't operate in the gray areas of emotion. They think in terms of principles. To them, trust is binary: it either exists or it doesn't. And once it's broken, no amount of apologies, promises, or tears can glue it back together. This might sound cold or ruthless to others, but it's actually rooted in clarity. Sigma males live by a rare kind of self-awareness. They understand that forgiveness without accountability is an open door to repeated pain. They've watched people forgive too quickly, only to get hurt again and again. They've seen how guilt can be weaponized, how words like "I've changed" are often used to buy more time before the next betrayal. And they've made a quiet vow never to let that cycle touch them. Psychologists describe this pattern as the betrayal blind spot, a mental trap where individuals overlook red flags just to maintain emotional harmony. But Sigmas don't fall for this illusion. They know peace built on denial isn't peace at all, it's self-deception. To them, walking away isn't an act of cruelty, it's an act of strength. It's their way of saying, "I value myself too much to give you another chance to hurt me." Picture a Sigma male in a business partnership. His partner misuses funds, apologizes, and swears it was an honest mistake. Most people might try to rebuild, give it another shot, or hope that things will improve. But not the Sigma. He ends the partnership quietly, decisively, without bitterness, because he knows trust is like glass. Once it's shattered, every attempt to piece it back together only highlights the cracks. People often ask, "Why can't you just forgive and move on?" And the Sigma would say, "I already did." But moving on means walking away, not returning to the same fire that burned me. For him, forgiveness is internal. It's not about restoring a broken bond, it's about releasing resentment and cutting emotional ties completely. It's the difference between healing and reopening old wounds. So when a Sigma male refuses a second chance, it's not because he's bitter. It's because he's free. Reason number 2, they use silence as their weapon. When you wrong a Sigma male, you don't get the explosive confrontation you might expect. There's no shouting match, no emotional drama, no desperate exchange of words. Instead, you're met with something far more chilling: absolute silence. To most people, silence feels passive. But to the Sigma male, it's a precision strike. It's a weapon forged from restraint, designed not to punish through words, but through absence. You see, Sigmas understand human psychology on a deep, instinctive level. They know that people crave closure, validation, and reaction. When someone hurts you, they expect you to explode, because that explosion gives them control. It makes them part of your emotional landscape. But when the Sigma gives them nothing, no reaction, no anger, not even acknowledgement, it dismantles their power entirely. That's what makes his silence so unnerving. It forces the other person to face themselves, without distraction, without deflection. They start replaying every moment of betrayal in their head, trying to decode what he's thinking, wondering if he'll ever speak again. The quiet becomes a mirror, and in that mirror, guilt echoes louder than any argument ever could. For the Sigma, silence isn't avoidance. It's strategy. It's emotional discipline in its purest form. He knows that engaging with betrayal is a waste of life force, and the Sigma protects his energy like its sacred currency. Why explain your pain to someone who already knew they were causing it? Why justify your withdrawal to someone who never valued your presence in the first place? The Sigma refuses to give that satisfaction. His silence speaks the ultimate truth: your access to me is gone. This aligns perfectly with his lone wolf nature. He doesn't need emotional closure, because he is his own closure. He doesn't require others to validate his feelings or talk it out. His peace is internal, untouchable and self-sustained. Imagine a scenario? A close friend betrays a Sigma by spreading false rumors. Most people would demand answers, confront them publicly, or lash out in retaliation. But the Sigma? He simply vanishes. No texts. No calls. No explanation. Just a clean, surgical withdrawal. The friend is left spinning in confusion, replaying every conversation, every memory, wondering what went wrong. But the Sigma's silence tells the full story. I saw what you did. And I'm not wasting my breath explaining why it was wrong. Over time, that silence becomes deafening. The absence of the Sigma's presence, his calm energy, his loyalty, his quiet strength, becomes a punishment in itself. The betrayer realizes too late that silence isn't emptiness. It's the echo of consequences. And that's the ultimate truth. The Sigma male silence is not weakness. It's wisdom in motion. It's the understanding that not every battle needs to be fought, some are won by simply walking away and letting silence do the talking. Because for the Sigma, peace isn't found in confrontation, it's found in detachment. Reason number 3, they hold you accountable. To a Sigma male, forgiveness without accountability is meaningless. It's not mercy, it's weakness disguised as virtue. While most people confuse forgiveness with letting things slide, the Sigma sees things differently. He believes that every action carries weight, and that people must face the natural consequences of what they do. He doesn't forgive simply to appear mature or spiritual. He forgives when there's growth, understanding, and genuine acknowledgement of wrongdoing, not before. You see, the Sigma male operates by a moral compass that's unshakable. He values fairness, integrity, and truth above social comfort. So when someone crosses a line, he doesn't just walk away quietly, he ensures they understand why that line existed in the first place. But here's the difference: the Sigma doesn't lash out or seek revenge. He doesn't embarrass others, gossip, or create drama. His way of holding people accountable is calm, direct, and unflinchingly honest. He confronts with composure, not chaos. Imagine this. A coworker steals credit for his idea during a big presentation. Most people would either explode in anger or sulk in silence. The Sigma does neither. Instead, after the meeting, he approaches the person privately and says in a steady, measured tone, "I noticed you presented my idea as your own. That's not acceptable. Please correct that in the next meeting." No yelling. No emotional outburst. Just truth, delivered with precision. And that's what makes it so effective. The Sigma's calmness is his power. Because when he speaks, his words carry weight. They pierce through guilt and ego. He doesn't need to threaten or manipulate, his self-assuredness demands respect. By doing this, he achieves two things. The issue is addressed head-on. The offender instantly realizes they can't repeat the same behavior without consequences. This method of accountability extends far beyond the workplace. In friendships, if someone repeatedly cancels plans or disrespects his time, the Sigma will call it out once, clearly and firmly. He won't lecture, but he'll make his expectations known. And if the behavior continues, he simply walks away, no drama required. In relationships, it's the same principle. If his partner lies, disrespects his boundaries, or plays emotional games, he won't beg or plead. He'll look her in the eye and say, "That's not how I operate. If you want to stay, respect is non-negotiable." Because for him, accountability isn't about control, it's about respect. It's about maintaining the integrity of every interaction he allows into his life. Sigmas understand something most people never do. When you let others get away with disrespect, you teach them how to treat you. When you stay silent to keep the peace, you create inner conflict that destroys your own. That's why the Sigma holds people accountable, not out of bitterness, but out of balance. He knows that boundaries protect energy, and that real forgiveness can only exist where there's honesty. So whether it's a lying friend, a manipulative partner, or a selfish colleague, the Sigma stands firm. He doesn't shout. He doesn't seek revenge. He simply demands truth and walks away from anything less. Because deep down, he understands. If there's no accountability, there's no growth. And without growth, forgiveness is wasted. Reason number 4, they focus on self-growth, not revenge. When most people get betrayed, their first instinct is to get even, to inflict the same pain they felt. They burn energy crafting elaborate plans, rehearsing confrontations, or fantasizing about seeing the other person fail. But not the Sigma male. For him, revenge is a trap, a distraction that keeps him tethered to the very thing he wants to move beyond. While the average person becomes consumed by anger and resentment, the Sigma rises above it, turning his pain into power. He knows that vengeance may satisfy the ego, but it never nourishes the soul. When someone betrays a Sigma male, he doesn't retaliate. He retreats, not out of weakness, but to recalibrate his mind, strengthen his resolve, and upgrade every aspect of himself. He transforms the betrayal into a kind of personal alchemy, converting emotional poison into psychological fuel. The Sigma's mindset is simple yet profound. Why waste energy tearing others down when that same energy could be used to build yourself up? This is where the Sigma separates himself from the rest. He understands that revenge keeps you stuck in the past, chained to the offender's actions. Growth, on the other hand, moves you forward, beyond the reach of those who once hurt you. Sigmas treat betrayal like a mirror. Every act of disloyalty, every broken promise, every deception becomes a reflection, not of their weakness, but of where they must evolve. If someone fooled them, it's a sign they need to sharpen their intuition. If someone disrespected their boundaries, it's a cue to reinforce those boundaries even more. If someone underestimated them, it's motivation to rise so high that those same people can't even see where they've gone. Take, for instance, a Sigma male betrayed in business. His partner mishandles money, manipulates deals, or breaks trust. The average man might seek revenge, a lawsuit, public exposure, or some attempt to teach them a lesson. But the Sigma doesn't bother. He steps back, studies the failure, and refines his craft. He invests in his knowledge, expands his circle of integrity-driven allies, and builds systems that make him untouchable. Months later, while his former partner is still stuck in mediocrity, the Sigma has multiplied his success, quietly, powerfully, and without ever saying a word. That's the Sigma's version of revenge, self-mastery. He doesn't need to destroy you, he simply becomes someone your actions can no longer touch. But make no mistake, this doesn't mean Sigmas are passive. They feel pain deeply. They just refuse to let that pain dictate their behavior. Instead of reacting impulsively, they analyze what happened. They sit in silence, process every detail, and extract the lessons hidden beneath the hurt. To them, every betrayal is a chance to evolve, to become mentally stronger, emotionally balanced, and spiritually grounded. While others waste their nights plotting payback, the Sigma male is working on himself, his goals, and his future. He's reading, training, meditating, strategizing, doing the inner work that makes him bulletproof. And when he finally re-emerges, he doesn't come back seeking closure. He comes back as a better, sharper, more powerful version of himself, one that no betrayal can break again. In the end, the Sigma's philosophy is clear. Revenge feeds the ego. Growth feeds the soul. And the most satisfying revenge of all? Is living in such a way that those who betrayed you can't even access the world you've built for yourself. Reason number 5, they build an unshakable inner circle. For Sigma males, relationships aren't just casual connections, they're sacred bonds built on loyalty, depth, and mutual respect. They don't have the patience for superficial friendships or temporary alliances that crumble under pressure. To them, people are energy, and who they allow into their space determines the peace or chaos that follows. When betrayal strikes, it doesn't just hurt, it teaches. It reminds the Sigma why he guards his world so carefully, why he doesn't open up easily, and why trust, once broken, is almost impossible to rebuild. But instead of drowning in bitterness or anger, he channels that pain into awareness. He studies the betrayal like a lesson, dissecting every detail, not to relive it, but to understand it. He asks himself powerful questions. What did I overlook? Did I ignore a red flag because I wanted to see the good in someone? What subtle signs did I miss that I'll never miss again? This process of self-reflection doesn't make him paranoid, it makes him precise. Each experience, good or bad, sharpens his intuition like a blade. He becomes a silent judge of character, reading energy, tone, and intention before anyone even realizes they're being evaluated. He notices the inconsistencies in words and actions, the hidden motives behind flattery, the micro-expressions that expose true nature. Over time, this awareness transforms him into a master of discernment. While others collect acquaintances for validation or social status, the Sigma male collects character. He prefers solitude over shallow company, because to him, peace is far more valuable than popularity. He doesn't chase crowds, he filters them. And the few who pass his silent tests, the rare souls who prove consistent, honest, and loyal, earn a place in his inner circle. This circle isn't big, but it's solid. It's made of people who match his energy, respect his boundaries, and don't flinch when life gets difficult. These aren't fair-weather friends, they're allies, forged through trust and tested by time. While others surround themselves with energy drainers and pretenders, the Sigma builds a fortress, not of walls, but of loyalty. A tight-knit network of people who add value, not chaos. Who challenge him, not compete with him. Who bring calm, not noise. So when storms hit, when life gets dark, or betrayal tries to strike again, the Sigma male stands firm, knowing his circle won't fold or flee. They have his back the same way he protects his peace. In the end, Sigma males don't forgive easily, not because they're cold, bitter, or prideful, but because they've learned the true cost of misplaced trust. They protect their energy like it's sacred currency. They understand that peace is expensive, and not everyone deserves access to it. For them, forgiveness isn't weakness, it's wisdom. And choosing who gets a second chance is a decision rooted in self-respect. Final words. If you found yourself nodding along to any of these points, it means you already know, deep down, what it feels like to walk the Sigma path. You understand that this way of life isn't about arrogance or isolation. It's about strength, clarity, and emotional self-mastery in a world that constantly tries to pull you off balance. You've probably been misunderstood before, called distant, cold, or detached, when in reality, you were simply protecting your peace. You've learned that silence often says more than words, that walking away isn't weakness, and that forgiveness doesn't always require reconciliation. That's the quiet code of the Sigma, calm on the surface, powerful underneath. Every betrayal, every disappointment, every loss, it doesn't break you. It refines you. It strips away illusion and teaches you to trust your intuition, your boundaries, and your own company above all else. Because when you reach that level of self-reliance, no apology can manipulate you, and no betrayal can define you. So drop a comment below, and share your experience. How do you handle betrayal? How do you approach forgiveness when trust has been broken? Your story might help another Sigma out there realize he's not alone on this path. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Because what's coming next will take your understanding of the Sigma mindset to an entirely new level, deeper, sharper, and more transformative than before. We're just getting started, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.